I've always had a fascination with genealogy. Digging through the past, brushing the dust off forgotten names, thrilled me. My neighbor Cheryl shared the obsession. We were history junkies, tracking down ancestors like detectives. Old records, poison ivy-choked graveyards, rambling conversations with retirees. We hunted the past for fun. That was our first mistake. One day, we set out to a remote graveyard. Conveniently, it held ancestors from both our trees. Cheryl's great-great, and it was easy to find. Mine took longer. We finally uncovered a tall, expensive stone. Samuel Beauregard Smith, my third cousin once removed. No expense spared here, I told Cheryl. Either someone really loved him, she replied, or someone was glad to see him go. I'd only learned his name the week before, and, apparently, he learned mine. That night, everything changed. I heard the front door squeak open. I knew I'd shut it. I knew I'd locked it. But there it was, wide open. Behind me, Soot, my black cat, purred. She walked to the doorway and started rubbing against something. Something invisible. My arms prickled with cold. I shut the door. Soot walked away, calm as anything, like she had company. In the living room, my terrier Terry thumped his tail in greeting to no one. Then he lay down and went back to sleep. I went to the kitchen, did the dishes, pretended I wasn't creeped out, pretended hard. I went to bed early, whispering to myself that I was just being silly. But the house didn't feel silly. It felt watched. The next morning, the cabinets were open. All of them. I pretended I'd left them that way, even though I never do. Soot jumped into the chair across from me at breakfast and purred at empty air. Then a newspaper turned a page. All on its own. I didn't breathe. I didn't move. For 2 weeks, I ignored it. The cabinets, the lights, the rug shuffled, the furniture moved. But then, he started whistling. Off-key, constant. That's when I cracked. I told Cheryl everything. She didn't believe me until she saw it. She came over one morning and froze. The newspaper moved. The chair creaked. No one was there. That's when she gave me the number. A psychic. Cheryl couldn't join babysitting duty, so I waited alone. The psychic arrived, normal enough, until she stepped inside and went rigid. Yes, she said, you do have a ghost. No hellos, no tea, just facts. We sat down. She reached out and found him, Samuel Beauregard Smith. He'd followed me home, said I reminded him of his first wife. I asked the psychic to relay something for me. I'm flattered, but it's not proper for a widow and a bachelor to share a house, even in death. At that moment, Cheryl's car pulled in. The psychic tilted her head. He understands. He's agreed to leave. There was a silence in the room, deeper than silence. The kind that sucks out the air. Then nothing. Not cold. Not heavy. Just gone. The psychic said he'd moved on. I paid her. Thanked her. As she stepped out, Cheryl rushed up the walk. They nodded politely, like strangers passing on the street. Cheryl burst inside. Was that the psychic? And who was the old-fashioned man with the white mustache who just walked out your front door? I froze. What did you just say? He came out just as I parked. Old clothes. Tall. Mustache. Looked right at me. I smiled. That was Samuel Beauregard Smith. She went pale. You mean, I just saw your ghost cousin? I nodded. You just saw his ghost. For the first time in our friendship, Cheryl was speechless. I laughed. The house was mine again. And finally, I could make tea without someone rifling through the sugar bowl. I laughed. It was over. Finally, I had the house to myself again.